Forever. Dog.
It is a well-known fact that we here at Race Chaser. Do you need this?
No, go ahead.
It is a well-known fact that we here at Race Chaser like to jump in and do a deep dive into some really important issues. And of course, the issue on everyone's mind and on everyone's lips is what happened with the Emmys this year involving Delta Work. And luckily, we have her in the studio to tell us all about it from her perspective.
What privilege.
We're very happy that we can provide, like, you know, we're kind of like journalisming.
I'm basically Diane Sawyer.
You got the hair for it.
Yeah, I'm wearing it right now.
I love you and a good Diane Keaton bob.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's get into this deep dive with Delta Work. Hashtag shit girl please,
shit girl,
which
please.
I love.
Yeah, actually my newest one is FWYH, fuck what you heard.
Okay.
That's the newest one. But shit girl please is like, it's, I don't know why, I just where that started or why it started, but it just did. And I feel like that's just kind of my emotion about whether it's something political or it's something that has to do with just anything.
Yeah.
I
Is
like
that your
it.
stomach?
You take it, yeah.
Ooh.
You can hear it in the mic.
I pooped
like
from
that.
there.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Do you remember I pooped from there?
Oh,
you know what?
I pooped from there.
I may be treading on very thin ice here, but I think I might as well just go ahead and say it because, you know, me and Raja years ago and Rhea too, because Rhea got in on it. We used to always do our sexual moans for everything. And it was basically a way of getting out of something uncomfortable or acknowledging something. So, you know, somebody would be like, oh, what do you weigh? And it would be, that would be it. And I would have to bounce too, right? And so then all of a sudden there was a show on WOW called,
Yeah.
I feel like people were in the dressing room and just couldn't think of another name for their show.
The impact.
I'm just saying, you know,
The
maybe
deep
not.
impact.
I love those girls though. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and Rhea, like,
She still does it.
right, Rhea and I take it to another level. We actually will DM each other.
Oh, she
or
has
text each
yours
other.
saved. She has them
she
in
does?
her phone.
I
There's
have
ones
mine.
that
Oh
she'll
my
never,
God.
like, I have a Lady Bunny message I'll never delete.
Yeah, Rhea's too much. Like it's some other, it's actually almost a language.
Yeah, it honestly is. I mean,
Yes.
it's fully, it's almost a Helen Keller level of communication, 100. I have a random question. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. I heard on season 3, which we're covering now on Race Chaser, that there was a scene where you're speaking and your shirt changes 3 times in a conversation. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't, but I believe that. You know,
What, in a confessional?
No, in
Or
a
in the
workroom
room?
scene, the shirt changes and then changes again and then changes back, from what I hear.
I believe that. You know, this is something that I will stand by 100%. I'm not embarrassed to say. I'm not. There's just no way around it. No one. When I was a contestant on Drag Race, no one forced me to say anything that I said. But what was shown wasn't shown in chronological order.
Mine either.
So I'm not saying that somebody said to me, you know, you have to say this or you have to say that. I will say there's times, obviously, when you're like doing your makeup and they're like, oh, can you go ask so-and-so about the time that someone took advantage of her? Or,
Sure.
oh, can you, and you're like, wait, what? I'm doing my makeup right now. I don't feel compelled that way. And I haven't gotten to that point with this
And I
person
don't really
yet.
know her.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point
Let
with
me
this
ask her
person.
about her
So-
child abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say, again, what you're seeing isn't always presented in chronological order. So, you know, where we're seated now, the two of you are in front of me, and I could actually be talking to you, and that could be a cutaway to, well, there's 4 people in that area, and we know, I mean, when I got on the show, they said, you're a contestant, but you're also a cast member. We're making a television show. So I knew that there was going to be a level of that.
Sure.
But again, I wasn't prepared, I don't think, for how people would consume that and then how it would come out. Was it going to come out at all? Was it going to come out like fucking diarrhea? Or was it going to be fucking constipated and stuck inside there forever? You know what I'm saying? But it was a big piece of shit for the most part.
Okay. And you got on the show from a random open casting call across the street.
No, I did not. I did not. So when I was, when that casting call happened, myself and Venus were already cast on the show. That's what we were told. We had already taken our psych evals. We had already done all of that. The both of us were at the time working in Dreamgirls Review and still do.
Where they came and tried to recruit season 1. Yeah,
absolutely. And I don't remember if Venus was there, but I was in San Diego the night before, and it was going to be my first time having sort of a professional photo shoot, and I had paid for it to happen and everything. And then I got a call that, hey, we need you to be at World of Wonder tomorrow. We're going to be doing the really cool thing that we're filming. The day before. This really cool thing that we're going to be filming, and we need you to be part of it. And I said, oh my gosh, I would love to do that, but I already made this commitment, but thanks for the invitation. And that's when I first learned, well, that's not an invitation, darling. That is a requirement. And so I said, well, I'm just not going to be able to make it. I'm not going to be able to recoup this money. By the way, it was probably only like $200 I had paid. But at the time, it was a lot of money to me.
That's a night's work.
Yeah. And they said, if you don't come, you're not going to be on the show. So you will come. So I did go. And myself and Venus were the first two people parked in that parking lot at like 6 o'clock in the morning, asleep in our cars. And I only saw her because she like rustled over and she had some big gold thing or something on. And I saw her shoulder and I was like, oh my God, that's Venus. And I went over and I'm like, what are you doing here? She said, well, they said if we weren't here, we weren't going to be doing this. And so we already knew that we were going to be on the show. And I don't know. Now I can't say whether or not they were going to cast somebody from what was there, but I can say that
the psychs were already done at that point.
Those were done, and my reaction was, and I even said,
did you know I was there?
That's not.
It's
what's
someone
her name? Who looks like
That's what's her name. Sissy Debut.
I constantly get tagged in her pictures.
Sissy Debut was sitting on the very corner in a lawn chair. Waiting. She
was it right out here?
It was right here in this parking lot.
Yeah.
And so I remember thinking to myself, wow, I really am sitting on like the original Alyssa secret. Like I'm sitting on the secret and my friends are here like, oh yeah, we might get cast. And I thought, maybe they will. Maybe they are looking for another person.
Rhea brought her luggage with her.
But I know for sure.
Rhea was sure. She was top 3.
A Ziploc bag. So I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I thought, I don't want to lie to my friends, but so when they filmed the reaction of like, oh, you're cast on RuPaul's Drag Race, I was like, oh my God, I'm not a good actress. You know what I mean? I'm really not. You can read it on my face. I have no poker face. And that's another thing. Like people will collect these pictures of me and at like reunion shows and stuff like that. And my face is always
right.
And I'm actually excited or interested, but I just like kind of zone out. And so you can read it. So I felt like people could read what was happening there. Like, God, this is a little forced. Like, what is she really that excited? So yeah, I wasn't cast from that. And I can't speak to Venus. I can tell you what Venus told me then, but I don't know if there was more that she could have said or less that she could have said.
Kissy Christmas, Ruru.
Yeah. Kissy.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but it's all a lie. The Holiday Spectacular was actually filmed in August.
Was it?
Yeah.
I had no idea. And some people are saying that there was a stunt double, which I don't believe.
Where?
I think in the holiday special.
The dancing lip sync.
I believe
that was Michelle.
Yeah, I don't believe
that was them cartwheeling.
That's fake news.
Do you mind if we talk about the Emmys a little bit?
Sure.
You have an Emmy in your name for the amazing wiggatry work that you did on RuPaul's Drag Race season 10.
I do, yeah.
And when you were first nominated, I was loud, because that's me, unfortunately, about Matthew not being nominated because of him being the department head on the episode that was submitted for contention. I know his work wasn't featured on that episode, but some would argue it was because in the title sequence, he did Rue's hair for that. But there was more beef online between all the people who wanted to get involved than actually the people who were involved.
Right.
World Wonder, you and I know I reached out to Theron and Michelle and Tom and Randy and Fenton and everybody. I have their emails. I emailed them. I told them, hey, everyone thought it was just me grinding an axe. When it wasn't me, there were other people. I was just the only one that, was in the space that they could see. It's been talked about so much. and this outline says we're going to talk about it now, but we kind of just did. There was never a beef between you and I. We've always been like, I've always respected you so much and loved you and followed you and appreciated you. And when someone in Reddit was saying I was talking shit about you, and I was like, I've never made it personal at all. I've never talked shit about her. I love her drag. I tip her when I see her. Like, she's drag excellence. And there's no beef between us that I know of, and you can confirm that.
Yes. Well, no. Let me say this. This is so, you're probably not even going to remember this, and this probably sounds like the stupidest thing, but it was really something that was important to me. Yeah. When we filmed Drag You, we had to go do photos at one point, and so we filmed at LA Center. And the one that I did anyway. Mm-hmm. We filmed there, and so we did the
test day with the camera block, and that was fun.
And we had to walk down and go take pictures. And I don't remember. I asked, well, how is this filmed? Oh, it's just kind of waist up. It's waist up. And then they said, we're going to go do full length photos now. And I was like, oh my God, like my shoes are so ugly. Like, I came from the night before. I just threw a bag together. Like, I thought they just said wear black. Mm-hmm. And you said to me, you can't wear those shoes. And I said, why? And you were like, because the girls are all laughing at those shoes. They're joking, but they're laughing at them. And I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to wear. And you said, you can wear these. And you pulled out a pair of fucking Louboutin shoes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, girl, I will break those shoes. And you said, I would rather you break them than them stand there and laugh at you. And I'm not kidding about this story. This story really happened. And I crammed my fucking foot in those shoes. And I remember thinking to myself, like, wow, like, these were all friends. They weren't really making fun of me or humiliating me. But I was kind of the butt of the joke for the moment because I kind of had thrown myself together. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm not really going to break her shoes. But, well, maybe I am. But the idea that somebody was like, no, girl, like, I got you. It's cool. Like, I got you. Yeah. So when this situation was happening with Matthew, I knew in my mind, this is somebody like protecting the dignity of someone else. Like, that's what this is about.
Trying to.
And I don't know the inner workings of that relationship because I'm not part of that relationship. And I don't, what's important to me is being authentic, even if it kind of looks stupid to other people. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to know that I did what I did and I said what I said. And even if I have to account for it later, I account for it later. But I didn't want to pretend like that I was closer to Matthew than I was because I wasn't that close to Matthew. I only knew him as somebody who said, this is how you're going to do the wig. Thank you. Hello. Goodbye. For what I was doing, it wasn't something extra exciting to him. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be compelling to everyone. But I didn't, in that situation, I didn't want to pretend I was in more of a relationship than I was with him. But I did have a relationship with you. And I knew in my heart of hearts, I didn't know also, because this was my first time working on a television show behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know what the rules were, what the laws were, but I knew that.
Neither did World of Wonder.
Apparently. And we're finding out that they didn't know for some time or as I've realized, do know, but have taken a privilege into thinking, well,
we don't have to tell them.
Yeah, we're a special show. We're a special production company. And therein lies where I think, where I feel like the pink money and the pink light and the pink is, there's advantage being taken in a way by saying, well, we're gay, so it's fine. We're wild and crazy. We're going to do what we're going to do. It doesn't matter. It's fine. This is legendary. This is first time. The house down boots, slay mother, like all of that. And it's like, but wait a minute. The Academy is an esteemed organization. Yeah. And there are people who have dedicated their lives to working in makeup and hair and lighting and sound and all of these different things. And so when we were nominated in the first season that we worked on, myself and Raven, and I cannot and will not speak about Raven and specifically because the last time I spoke to her was over a year ago and she made it clear we are not a package. Together we are not a package and we're not going to be considered that way. And I never thought that, but I understand that.
Mm-hmm. You were in the trenches with her and started at the same time.
I just kind of thought there would be that, and I realized
and camaraderie. You'd worked together for a decade.
So so I feel like, but
fuck what you heard.
Fuck what you heard, and I feel like since I didn't know what to expect, when we were nominated, I think it was just kind of the momentum was happening, and we didn't even know we were going to be nominated. We didn't know that could happen. What does that mean? We thought we were just coming here. I thought anyway, I was coming here and combing a wig for somebody I had admired before I even knew what drag was. In the early 90s, watching Rue on MTV, I didn't even know that Rue was a drag queen or a man or a woman or trans, or I didn't know any of those terms. I just thought, is this a model from France? Is this what they talk about? I don't know. And so to have this opportunity, all I was focused on was, oh my gosh, I get to play Barbie and dress up with somebody and they're going to pay me for it. Wow. Just try to copy what you saw Matthew do. Just try to make something big and blonde. And that's what I want to wear. That's how I remember RuPaul. Let's do that. And so in doing so, never in a million years did I think, well, this could lead to an award or a recognition, because how could it? You've only been doing it for a week. You showed up, and then you had to produce a product the next day.
Yeah.
So how could you do that when you didn't even have, there was no screen test. There was no discussion of, I don't like this showing. I don't like that showing. You just had to figure it out as you went. And then once you saw we filmed season 9, and I can remember thinking, oh bitch, every episode I was standing outside like, oh, I fucking killed it. I can't even fucking wait. The kids are not ready because I turned the party. And then a year later, after everything's post-edited and fuzzed out and this happens and that happens, I'm watching and I'm like, oh,
they do fuzz?
Well, the hairline, like all the blurring of the hairline.
Yeah.
And I thought, what did I do? Like, I thought this was amazing when I was there. Like I watched, and it was amazing. Yeah. For one day of trying out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was no experience. So Matthew had obviously a long time to create that wheel. I felt going into this, your job is just to keep the wheel clean. You don't have to recreate it. You don't have to redesign. Sure. Just keep it clean, at least for now. Just keep them. There's some other situation happened that you're coming into. You have no idea what happened. And I really didn't know specifically what happened until a little bit later. And that's obviously hard for other people to comprehend, and maybe they don't need to know from me because I wasn't there. I only know from, people that were there. But so I didn't know we were going to be nominated. Once we were, we didn't realize that you could have a say-so in what was submitted. You could have a say-so like, oh, this is the episode I'd like to have submitted. Yeah. So they submitted the Lady Gaga episode, which clearly we were not there for. Never, and we weren't even considered because nothing that led up to us being there had even transpired yet.
Right.
So then once we were there and the episode was nominated, not only, and you mentioned like Matthew not doing hair on that episode because Rue didn't have hair on. However, I don't know that it particularly mattered whether or not he did hair now, because after now having 2 years more of experience about the Emmys, if he was department head, regardless of what work he did, he's going to be on that nomination because he speaks for his team. Whether or not he tells Hector what to do on Michelle's hair or any of the guest judges who haven't brought a hairdresser, he's still the department head. Yeah. So his name still goes on that nomination. And so when we won, 2018, it was myself and Hector because we were the only two people pushed forward on the nomination, and we were the only two people that were there consistently. And I believe for sure there were other hairdressers that were there.
And you deserved it.
And I thought so, yeah. And I felt like definitely there was certainly an improvement. I felt like there was a visual improvement. I felt like there was more of an adherence to the brand, quote unquote, of the look of RuPaul. And still, every day it could get better. So the following year was going to be even better. And I thought to myself, when we won that award together, oh my gosh, now we've made it recognized, because in my mind, the people voting on this are people who say, out of all the people who have been doing similar work this year, we believe you are the outstanding submission. We're not saying that you're the only person, but we're saying out of this year, you've done something a little bit better than everybody else. So we're going to give you this recognition. And then in my mind, after receiving that recognition, your job is to go, wow, you're now on a different level. You've now been recognized. Your job is to not only do that same level of work, but take it to the next level so that people can go, wow, guess what? You took it to the next level and you now deserve another award. So I thought, there's a possibility. There's not even a possibility. There's a probability that we're going to win this again.
Yeah.
If we just keep our fucking nose to the grindstone, keep doing exactly what is being asked. And when I found out that I wasn't going to be on the nomination, I found out through an email from somebody from World of Wonder who said, hey, just touching bases with you again, which I couldn't quite figure out what again meant because I had never had a previous conversation with this person. I'd only seen their name listed on credits and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, what is again? So that before reading the first sentence, and then went through and basically the email said, and it's just, you're not going to be pushed forward because the Academy no longer recognizes your title in a technical category. And I said, oh, what does that mean? Because I won with that title. I was submitted with that title 1 year, had the nomination rescinded, won the second year, and now it's this. Well, unfortunately, this is just the rule. And I said, well, we will need to speak to someone because this is not the rule, I don't think. It's 2 weeks before FYC. For your consideration week is about to start. They don't enact a new rule on work that's already been filmed a year before. They would have said last year moving forward,
new bylaws.
There are no black hats allowed in here. We don't eat in this room. This is an esteemed organization. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if they did give that rule, and maybe they did, that it may very well exist. I don't know how to find out that rule. And I tried reading it. And quite honestly, I feel like I'm just as smart as the next person, maybe not smarter, but I couldn't understand it. So I tried, but I couldn't. So people from VH1 said, we're getting in on this. We're going to handle it. We're walking over to the Academy now. Mm-hmm. We're physically walking over. World of Wonder said, we don't understand how this could be. We're going to get this fixed. So then I was told that I had to write a letter of appeal. So I wrote a letter of appeal and I really thought it over and I sent it.
It was great.
And they responded. You did?
Yeah.
They responded back within maybe 15 minutes. Thank you for your well thought out letter. Unfortunately, you have no credit and we give awards based on credit. So I said, well, how do I not have credit? I'm not understanding. And then that wasn't responded to. And then people at World of Wonder and VH1 said, you had to be credited as a hair and makeup technical artist in order to be nominated this year. And I said, I understand that. That's not a problem.
If you want to know what's really worth your time when it comes to losing weight, skip the guesswork and get Weight Loss by Hims.
Hims offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications that now includes the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever and the Wegovy pen, plus lifestyle tips to support you along the way.
Wegovy at Hims helps you regulate your appetite and eat less. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever and only GLP-1 available in a pill for weight loss, so there's no needles involved for he who already had Hims.
And with Hims, everything happens online. You'll connect with a licensed provider who will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary.
And they offer access to 24/7 messaging with your care team and in-app lifestyle and nutrition support, like recipes, meal plans, fitness videos, sleep content, and more.
You'll get a treatment plan personalized to you and unlimited dosage changes as needed.
Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/drag to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you.
That's HIMS.com/drag.
hims.com/drag.
Weight Loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com. Chime is changing the way people bank. They offer the most rewarding, fee-free banking, and it's built just for you.
I don't want to interrupt here, but I want to chime in. They're not like traditional old banks that charge you overdraft and monthly fees. Plus, they have thousands of fee-free ATMs. There's nothing more frustrating than added fees when you're just trying to access your own money.
Exactly. So with Chime, you are not just switching banks, you are upgrading to America's #1 choice for banking with a Chime checking account.
And how about some of these benefits? All benefits here, honey. Get 5% cash back on a Chime card in a category of your choice, like gas or groceries. And you get savings that grow faster with 3.75 APY. That's 9 times higher than the national average.
And don't forget, they also have Spot Me, which lets you overdraft up to $200 fee-free free.
We all need to be proactive in our own finances and understand what our money's doing, and banking can be confusing. There's so many hidden fees and policies that are different at each bank, so you have to look out for you, and with Chime you could do that.
Yes, God, and don't just settle. Find what works for you and get the perks and benefits that are beneficial to your life. Check out Chime.
Honey, I did. I'm a Chime user, and Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today.
Head to chime.com/drag. That is chime.com/drag. It only takes a few minutes to sign up.
Chime is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services provided for MyPay and Chime Card provided by Chime Bank Partners. Optional products and services may have fees or charges. Stated annual percentage yield and cashback for Chime Prime only. No minimum balance required.
Checking account ranking based on a J.D. Power survey published October 20th, 2025. For more information on APY rates, MyPay, SpotMe, and travel perks, go to chime.com/disclosures.
You know I love a Helix. I just got another one.
Feels like another one. And why wouldn't you? We love Helix.
Yes, not only is Helix a mattress that is so comfortable, but it also helps me get my best sleep. Help me sleep.
Help me sleep. Did you know a study Helix ran found that 82% of those involved saw an increase in their deep sleep cycle while sleeping on a Helix mattress? That is a big percent, okay? They've got high quality mattresses and a reputation to match.
I've been on so many mattresses from Helix. I've been on the Midnight Dusk. I've been on the Elite model.
Oh, yes.
I sleep cool. I sleep on my head. I sleep any way I want on Helix.
Exactly. And you don't want to miss out on this Memorial Day sale. Ooh. So here's how you get a Helix. You take the Helix Sleep Quiz, and based on your answers, they recommend one of their many different models. Mm-hmm. So if you like it firm or you like it soft, or if you run hot when you sleep, Helix has something just for you.
And you can rest easy with seamless returns and exchanges. The Happy with Helix guarantee offers a risk-free, customer-first experience designed to ensure you're completely satisfied with your new mattress.
So do something good for yourself and get a Helix. Lay around all day, rest easy, and sleep well.
Go to helixsleep.com/drag for 27% off site-wide, exclusive for listeners of Race Chasers.
That's right. That's helixsleep.com/drag for 27% off site-wide.
Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they can know we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/drag.
Why wasn't I told?
Why didn't?
Moving forward, if you would like another one of these awards, you absolutely have to be union. I was told it's advised that you be union if you'd like to work on a show outside of this. But working here, we don't have to worry about this because we have a star request in place. You don't have to worry about any of that. And me, never working on a show before, I was going off what they said to me. These are people who gave me a national platform as a drag artist, an
and
international
you won an
platform.
Emmy for them.
And I thought they're not gonna like dance around this at all. They're very serious about this. I mean, these awards are for the pink community. These awards are for queer people to go, look what is not possible, but probable. Look what can happen. You are going to I would imagine, I assumed, and I should not have assumed that I would be protected at all costs. And I just thought my contributions are here. Now, if RuPaul, for instance, said, I don't like the work that you're doing. You've been here for 3 years and I think these wigs are fucking ugly. That would be fine. If she came to me and said, I don't like what you're doing, I need to be in a different direction, I would have accepted that because at least it would have been the truth. And I've heard the truth before, and I've heard far more hurtful things than that. That's fine. But that was never said to me. And we asked every season, are there any notes? What are the notes from last season? What do we need to see more of, and what do we need to see less of? And there was never a wig that I styled that did not go without her approval, without her putting her hands in. I will say many of those wigs, she would readjust and go, okay, see where it is now? Make sure it doesn't move. That's where I like it. Make sure it doesn't move. And so I would have to do that. And of course, many people ask, well, how come we don't see new colors? And how come we don't see new this? I was told to work out of a wig wardrobe. And those are those tubs that we spoke of Matthew having. And many of the pieces that you've previously seen were not in those buckets because they belong to Matthew. They are Matthew's pieces. So I would have to work with that. And there were times when I would introduce wigs into the wig wardrobe that I purchased and I would end up getting reimbursed for and are left there. And I would never have the discussion that it was something that I purchased. I would just say, oh, I just found it in one of the buckets. I didn't realize it was there because I wanted to be respectful. I didn't want to say, hey, guess what? The girls on the runway are out wigging you and I need to buy new wigs. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to be rude about it. I figured there was a way around it, but I'm quite honestly tired of being the bigger person. I'm fucking over that. I think it's late. I think it's rude. I think it's disrespectful to myself. And I think people need to know the fucking truth. And the truth is that we're not playing dress up. It's not a game of dress up. And it's not, you get to come here because I love you so much. It was, you were local. We knew you would drop everything. We know that you're not the most famous drag queen. So what do you have, 3 gigs to work out the year? You can do that. We can cancel that. It's not that deep. I knew that. I know that now. And I was fine with that. I was great with that because it was giving me 3 months out of the year where I could go do something and be part of something. It was like going to summer camp. We would call it that. Yeah. And I would learn a little bit more about myself. Like what could I do? I mean, in any given day, there would be 3 to 5 styled wigs sitting there saying, well, why don't we try this one? Why don't we try that one? And oftentimes, you're dealing with a person as well. RuPaul is a person, they say. And,
that was the wrong one. Damn. I meant to do this.
Thank you.
RuPaul is a person, they say. And because of that, she's going to want specific things. So, I mean, I'm not just doing a wig for a mannequin. I can do wigs for outfitter wigs all day long. I love that. But what I was always used to was doing a wig and starching the shit out of it so that some queen could throw it in her bag or throw it in her car, take it out, and with minimal pull it on her head and go. Yeah. And then until it started to get white from hairspray and then throw it away and get a new one. But with this case,
make it a bump.
Right, exactly. But in this case, it was styling something so that it could look effortless. And I remember you mentioned a word, resplendent.
Yeah.
About a wig. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is the goal, is for it to look like there's not hairspray in it.
Touchability,
you know what I mean?
that movement,
right.
The Pussy Willow wigs, that asymmetrical mohawk. Like, even when Matthew did make something hard, the ends were still like movable and touchable.
And that was the hard part because you're still dealing with not having a relationship with someone. And as much as you want to like, let me get inside there and being this close to their face, knowing full well that they're like, you're a little close. And so there was that striking that balance between how do I do this? How do I do it on the mannequin? And how do I convince someone that we've seen this same style 3 times in a row? Can we maybe change it up? Can we do an updo? Like how can we, so I mean, again, I'm going on a stream of consciousness about that, but back to the Emmy thing, I never thought that would happen. And so this year when I got that email, I was like, this doesn't make, I've said before, and I always feel like your gut will tell you where to go. And I got a big gut. So I've got a lot to draw on. You know what I mean? I have 43 years of experience. And I do sit down and watch fucking conspiracy theory shows. Yes, I watch fucking Ancient Aliens. But I also know when someone's bullshitting me. And I can tell you from a mile away that they're bullshitting me, and I can tell you what color the cow the shit's coming from. Do you know what I'm saying? I really can. And somebody...
It's not from Butcher
Somebody
Box.
is bullshitting me. Somebody is not telling the truth. Somebody's taking advantage. Someone thought that, well, whatever, you already got an Emmy. Don't worry about it. That's what someone thought. We already got this. And here's the thing. If this was a rule, and that's the case, we would have known a year ago. And if this was a rule and they were able to rescind this, that means that, and I'm going out on a limb here, and it is what it is. If it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Was I even supposed to be there at all styling wigs? Because I'm not a union member,
right?
But Star Request.
But that's what I was told.
Yeah.
But as a non-union member, did I win an Emmy? As a non-union member, could that be rescinded? Could they say to me, hey, guess what? We actually looked at it and we feel so severely about this. We have to take not only your nomination away first year, the second year that you've won. Now we're going to have to take away the actual trophy because you did that unlawfully or illegally. But the thing is, all of it was done by a third party who submitted my name. And I sat and I was like, oh, well, you do this all the time. I see you winning awards. How would I have known that? Mm-hmm. How would I have known that this whatever request or whatever they call it was in place or not in place? And why would they play so lightly with someone who believed in them so full? I believed in World of Wonder. I don't believe in World of Wonder. I believed in World of Wonder. And I thought that they gave a shit.
Yeah.
I thought that they would say, you know, when you watch the show and Rue says, I'm your mother now. We're your family now. I kind of believed, at least for the crew. The crew and the TV show are separate things in my mind. What you see in front of the camera and what happens behind the camera are two different things. We are producing a piece of entertainment. Yeah. I understand that. But I thought, since being invited behind and being, you know, standing in a room and watching RuPaul in her, you know, her tights and her corset and her bald head and watching RuPaul eat Fritos and all that stuff, that's a privileged place to be that I never thought I would have been, and actually never assumed took place. You know, I thought you'd walk into a fully white room and her arms would, you know, come down and snap onto her body and this would just happen. I didn't know that this was a person just like the rest of us in a bathroom in a nightclub getting ready. And so I thought, this is the realness. This is the realness. And I'm going to be protected and I'm going to be understood and I'm going to be, lifted. We're going to lift you. And I felt that way when I got the Emmy the first year or last year. I thought, I'm standing on the shoulders of so many people, for sure, for real, Zabalk, for real. Like, I'm here. What do they say? Someone walked so I could run or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I sat, but I mean, I was like running.
You were on a
in my
jazzy.
mind. In my mind,
Yeah.
I was running. And so I remember when we went up to accept our award and they said, you know, you're department head. So when you guys win, you're the one that has to deliver the speech. But Hector was on the outside where we were seated. So he went up and he knew we only had a certain amount of time. So he thought, well, let me just get up there and start thanking people. I mean, why not? It's 50% his fucking award.
Yeah.
He's worked on that show way longer than I ever worked on that show. And he knows all those people way better than I knew all of those people. So he was just stood there. And I remember there was a second where he just kind of like stopped and I knew, oh my God, we have like 5 more seconds. And I was like, thank you, World of Wonder. Thank you, VH1. And thank you, Matthew Anderson. Because I'd never heard his name one time mentioned in full in a sentence since I had worked on the show in 2016.
I heard people were told not to talk about him.
They may have been.
Same with me.
I wasn't. I know that I never, you know, I can say that in the room when there would be reference to Matthew from RuPaul, the reference would be he or him. And I think maybe that, you know, again, I can't speak to their relationship because they've known each other for many years. And I'm sure there's so much I'll never understand about that. And it's not my place to know about that. It's just my place to know when I'm implicated. And,
you know, there was another nomination that was rescinded that year too. They fucked with the casting nomination in season 9, and Duran's original deal, who was the original casting, he had, since his original casting files for season 1 and 2 and 3 have had over 100 girls who have eventually been on RuPaul's Drag Race in his files. Wow. So OG casting was always supposed to be credited if it was nominated, and when he was nominated, it was taken away. So there were 3 out of 8 nominations fucked with because World of Wonder didn't do the right thing that year, and it's unfortunate that the burden fell to you guys to try to fix their mistakes, and especially you, because you had just won it's stupefying. One would think that you win an award and bring attention and accolades for greatness to a show and you might get a raise. Instead, you get the boot.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that right after that, we were going into production of AJ and the Queen, which is Rue's scripted show.
Yeah, with Michael Marcher King.
And there was an assumption from everyone else that myself and Raven were going to just go on to the show. And so when I spoke with one of Rue's assistants, it was, we're going into the new show. You need to go in and talk to Rue because her character has some specifics that the character needs. And so the specific was the character wears red wigs. And how many red wigs do we have? Is that going to be enough? And I said, no, it's not going to be enough. And she said, I want you to go online and I want you to shop red wigs. I want whatever if you need the wig and the back piece or whatever you need.
Dallas Sunset.
Right.
Strawberry Sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
So we went on and we did an order for, I want to say 20 different wigs. And I remember thinking, fuck, now I get to fucking do something people haven't seen. And that is a library, a show with all these brand new wigs, and people are now going to be able to see her in this light that I've always loved her in, which is red hair.
I love her in all
right?
her. Remember the Ho 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 album?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, that wig still exists.
Oh, Matthew told me.
Yeah, it actually was on, I think it was on season 11 and something else where she wears the blue and green thing. Anyway, so I remember thinking, fuck, now we're going to be able to do this together. We're going to do a chapter that no one can take away because it's a scripted show. And she was fully on board. So then when negotiations came about the show, they said, so the show's going to film a little bit differently because it's going to be filmed at a different studio. It's not a World of Wonder production. It was whoever, it was through Netflix, but it was Warner Brother or something. I don't know. I said, well, how many days a week is she going to be in drag? Well, it's going to be similar. She'll be in drag 2 days. So she'll be in drag or out of drag, in drag. I said, okay, so we're there 2 days a week. Sounds like. No, you'll be there. Yes. Originally it was yes. You're going to be there every other day. I said, cool. Then it was, well, actually they're going to need you there every day of the week. And I was like, well, why? She's not going to be in drag. Well, you'll be there doing hair on extras. And I said, oh no, I don't do that. And they were like, well, what do you mean you don't do that? I said, that's not what I signed up for. I came to do the star's hair. Yeah. That's it.
And the key and the star hair artist does not do extras.
That's not what I was told. They said, you have to be here 5 days a week and you have to work on all these different people. What? And I said, but I don't have a hair license. I mean, I don't have a union license, whatever. And they said, well, then you can just come in and do nothing. And I said, well, what do you mean do nothing? What would I do? Well, whatever, you just be there. I said, how about this? I really want to be able to do my shows that I still do. And I know you can't give me a schedule in advance the way we do Drag Race. Even if I just knew a few days in advance when you were going to need me, I could cancel out work, get somebody to cover me and be here. But I would like to be able to still show my face at the venues that pay me weekly and be able to do this. I can make the commitment to both. I really live less than 25 minutes away. It's no time. And I promise you, I will drop anything you need. And they said, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. You're either here full time or you're not here at all. And I said, then I can't be there at all because unfortunately, my partner and I share one car. Yeah. My retired mother lives with myself and my partner. We have things to be responsible for. And I am not going to make that second to this. I wanted to make it equal to this. And I don't know why that's unreasonable. And then I even threw down, listen, I just won an Emmy. I think that separates me a bit. And I think it gives me a little bit of leverage to say, I've shown to you my dedication. I stood by when you let my award be taken away from me. And then I stood by you when
and we're quiet. Yeah.
And I didn't get loud. I didn't make Facebook videos. I didn't go live talking about Matthew. I didn't do any of those things.
Yeah.
So now that I've won this award, you can't say to me, we've seen for 2 years that you've been trustworthy. We see that you've shown up on set at 5 o'clock in the morning because you lived so far away driving to Simi Valley and parked your car on the street and fell asleep in the car every day that you were to be here. We see that you've made that commitment. So since you've made that commitment, we're going to allow you to only work the days where we need you to work. I don't know where that's unacceptable or where that's extra. Yeah. I don't know. And I even said, just pay me for the days I'm there. I'm not asking you to pay me the whole week. Pay me for the days that I'm there. Let's set whatever day rate you think is right, and we'll do that. And even to other people that I've had this discussion with, they were like, well, actually, you shouldn't have told them what their day rate is. You tell them what your day rate is. But I didn't do that. And so then they said, fine, we're moving on with another hairdresser. The hairdresser there is absolutely amazing. I've seen him on Instagram. He's wonderful. He's seasoned in this business and has done gorgeous work that I've seen. And I'm so excited about that because I'm a fan of RuPaul.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of looking at RuPaul. I like to look at RuPaul.
Gorgeous. And
so to see somebody else have that opportunity who probably is way more well-versed in the rules and regulations of this and will not let it happen to them, is a good thing. But now thinking back to this situation, it's like, I don't know why it was unacceptable to say, so is it okay to just get paid on the days that you need me? Like, could I comb the wigs and then I can't legally go in and touch people's skin and scalps. I'm sorry for trying to obey the rules. It's okay for me to not want to be kicked out of an organization or considered to be back into that organization. Mm-hmm. So then they said, well, no, you can, just join the union. Just join the union. It's only $5,000. Just join the union. And I said, well, let me be real. I'm going to be very extra real. My end game was to always work on RuPaul. Once offered the opportunity, I said, all I'm going to do is work on RuPaul. And of
can't
course,
get any higher
right.
in
and
our
of course,
industry.
And as sad as this sounds, I like, maybe it sounds sad to other people. I like styling wigs for random queens. I like it when they're like, hey, do you think you could do a big black wig for me?
You saved my life with the blue wig in 2 days once.
Oh, I remember that.
And I still have it. It's great hair.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I like doing that. So if somebody comes to me and I have 3 wigs sitting at home, I like doing that. I wanted to be able to do that as well. You know what I'm saying? So I figure I can do that. But what I thought was, why would I join the union to work on a show that is going to be aired one time and then may or may not be picked up, may not be picked up again? Mm-hmm. And then what am I going to do? How am I going to get more hours for this this union thing? Why would I spend all this money? $5,000 is a cute chunk of money. Then what am I going to do with it?
Yeah. You
wanted me to do it just to prove to you that I could do it? How many more times do I have to jump? How many more hoops do I have to go through for you to prove to you? I'm not doing that. I'm 43 years old. I don't own a house. Mm-hmm. Why would I spend an extra $5,000 to take away from the dream of having security just to prove to you that I went over and combed red wigs on a show? No, I'm not doing that. So then they went into that, or around the holidays last year, I sent Rue an email. I have Rue's phone number right here in my phone, but I thought, don't bother her. I've always heard from Joelle and other people, don't you bother RuPaul on the phone. Mm-hmm. Send her an email. And I've watched her every morning as she sits and checks her emails and eats her breakfast. So I thought, I'll send her an email. And I said, hey, Rue, I don't want the holidays to get away from us. I know you're busy filming AJ, blah, 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 blah. Just wanted to let you know that I'm absolutely in place for Drag Race UK. I'm excited about it. I think we're going to do great things. This will be our second time to the UK together because we went last year when we filmed the Pirelli calendar. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. It's going to be great.
You did the Pirelli calendar?
We did. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And so she said, so I sent the email. It was pretty long because, I'm verbose and I say too much, and thanked her. And I thought, now she's going to get back to me with, great, sounds good. Let's loop in with so-and-so. About 4 days passed, and somebody who's written 3 books wrote me 3 sentences that said, hey, D, AJ has me swamped. From here out, I'm using the other hairdresser. I'll let you know if I ever have any extra work. And I thought, extra work? What is extra work? Like, I'm not doing extra work. I'm doing your work. I'm doing what we did together. Like, you wrote 3 books. You couldn't say, hey girl, I hope you're doing well. Isn't it wonderful that we won an award together? I think this is great. Listen, I've changed my mind. I'm going in a different direction. I would like to be using this person from here on out. You've been amazing. I hope wonderful things for you. But the thing is, that's what that's what I needed from her. And I shouldn't have expected that, because you can't expect you from other people. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. Was I just assumed that.
You assumed.
I assumed that.
You're in the field. You would give another drag queen the same courtesy.
I thought we said love.
Everybody said love.
I thought we said love, not click like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting there's a disconnect here. So then I thought, it's fine. It's the UK. They're going to the UK. It's different. Maybe it's that union thing. Maybe that's what it is. That's fine. Whatever. So then that time passes, and then I loop back in with the same people that I would loop in about summer work. And I said, hey, just letting you know I'm around. I don't know what days we're blocking off for summer, but I just need to know. And then the message I got back was, from here on out, we no longer need these were the words, we no longer need your services. Thank you for your time. And I thought, okay, so you didn't need me on AJ because I didn't do what you said. You didn't want to take me to the UK. Now you don't need me for All Stars. Now you don't need me. What did I... At this point, there's a pattern. There's a pattern of exclusion, purposeful exclusion. And I don't know if it's because another unpopular opinion, several people of consequence in network have said to me, There's only one drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race with an Emmy, and that's RuPaul. And you remember that. And I'm not saying that someone said those were reasons, but I will say that was said to me. You take it for how you take it. No one said, here's a rule, here's a reason. They just said, just think of this and remember this. I also heard from several people that, even on social media, strangers that comment, do you think any of this has anything to do with the fact that you're the only person who publicly at the awards recognized Matthew Anderson? Are you the only person who discusses him besides Willam? I don't know. Is it? Is it not? I mean, is it Ancient Aliens in my mind? Is it I want to believe? Is it I don't want to believe? Is it aliens? I don't know.
The only positive spin I could put on something that I would say to a friend like you who is dealing with all this is people have revealed their true colors numerous times, and now you don't have to work with people who don't have the best interest of the people that they work with at heart. Like it's nice to create, and it's wonderful to feel appreciated by people in your industry and all that. But even when you do your job and those people and you excel at it to that point, and then you credit the right people, you did everything right. You won. You thanked your predecessor. You were gracious. You didn't pop off online. You were available. You were on time. Everything you did was correct. You were funny and self-effacing back on season 3 when you said you were a farty Mexican man, and you did I read? Sure, I read. And like you've always been drag excellence, and nobody can take that away.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, it's a nice thing to hear. It's just I toss it around all the time in my mind because I don't know if it's because I'm an only child or because I'm an Aquarius or it's because, I had a single parent or I don't know what it is or if it's all of those things. But I toss it around in my mind like, okay, well, what if was it this day? It was this day. It was this word I said. Or was it maybe I said too much to Rue one time. There was a time I can remember when there was an instance about a wardrobe issue and fixing the wardrobe issue. And I can remember I've never said this before. I can remember her saying to us when we were helping her, am I going to have to do this myself? When are you going to use your head? That was the statement. And there were 3 of us in the room, 3 people that work with her intimately. And I remember laughing it off because I thought she's nervous. She's got a lot going on. There's a big name here. I don't know what those shoes are like. How could I know what those shoes are like? I'm not at 60 years old doing drag and have all these expectations of people on me. I've never done that. But I remember trying to break the ice with that. And I laughed and I said, oh girl, like you're going to do something for yourself. And everyone got quiet. Everyone got quiet and I laughed and I was like over here at a table and I looked up in the mirror and I thought, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Turn in your key card.
I should not have said that. I thought we were there. I heard the loudness. I thought, girl, it's cool. We get it. You're uncomfortable. You don't want to be in fucking drag all day. Queen. You're in drag for 14 hours. That's uncomfortable. Let's just break the ice here. It's fine. It's funny. Like we're playing around. We're real. We're real. You've got no hair on your head. Like you're wearing earrings. You have scotch tape holding your head up. Like, let's, we get it. Like, and the world gets it, but the world doesn't know that how much work you're putting into this. And I know how much work you're putting into this. So let's just laugh it off. And I remember thinking, was it that? Was it me saying that? Was it me asking too many times, hey, how about we kind of frame your face a little bit more instead of pulling the hair off your head? How about we just do more of this instead of this? And then, was it that? Was it, I don't know. It could be, I'm never going to know.
Yeah.
I'm never going to know. But what I am going to know is that there was someone or several someones who didn't give a shit, who had every opportunity to make sure that we were never back in the 2016 situation, but managed all the way to 2019 to make sure that we were right there again. And said, this doesn't matter. She's some queen. It's just some queen who used to be on the show that's over here combing wigs. Fuck her. There's a million other queens out there that can come comb a wig. In fact, there's plenty that are not in front of the camera still. There's many that don't go on their social media and say what it is and how they feel. Because she does that. I can remember in 2016 going to all these little parties that they invited us to go to, and the nominated makeup artist did not want to go to those parties. And they said, it's important that you go to these parties because we got to have the visibility. And I fucking hate going places by myself in full drag. But I'll do it. And I had to do it for them. And I did it for them. And yes, I had a great time when I was there. But, you know, you're at these parties where there's not one other queen or one other sort of ally there. And you're like, oh my God, these people are like, what is this fucking drag queen doing here? Mm-hmm. And, you know, for as much as we think that the makeup artists and the hairdressers of the union are funky, artsy Mac people, there are many not. Many of these are moms that have been doing this for a long time, dads that have been doing this for a long time, or people that are just seasoned that really are like, why are these drag queens showing up and showing out when they were here combing hair? That's why I didn't go to the Emmys in drag, because I thought, I'm going to make a concession here. I want these people that nominated me for a technical award to not see what they see in front of the camera. They're going to see me for what they voted for. Mm-hmm. I thought it's like showing up to court and going, I've got to put a suit on. I would have loved to have worn a cool dress and had a good time, but I wasn't nominated for my drag. And that's another thing. I wasn't nominated for what I do in front of the camera. I was nominated for a technical award in the dark. Who is that hurting? Who is that risking? Who is that? Why is that dangerous? Like, it's not, but that visibility is so important because there's other people out there. I did an interview yesterday with Condé Nast magazine, and the lady said, so let's talk about, she didn't even know about any of this.
She didn't?
Not a word. She was asking about, it was about queer artists who have been nominated for Emmys or have won Emmys. And I was like, I started talking about all this and this phone was so silent. And she goes, well, I don't know how much of this I can use. I said, you can't use any of it, baby. I don't think you can use any of it. That's not what your article's about. Your article's about what me talking to you about being in community college and going and being a queer artist 20 years ago. That's what your article's about. And I understand that, but I'm going to tell you the truth because she asked, her final question was, what did winning an Emmy do for you? I said, it didn't do shit. You know what it did? Winning an Emmy was the beginning of the downfall for me. It was the beginning of the end of my relationship at World of Wonder. People all the time, oh, are you going to be on All Stars, baby? No, I'm not. And I was never interested in being on All Stars. Why? Because it's too expensive. Because I don't have the money for that. And I don't have the time for that. And I don't have the physical stamina for that. And I don't have the emotional stamina. The girls that go on All Stars are actually All Stars. They're willing to look above and beyond themselves and to be able to go, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And whether or not they win, they walk away. It was a testament to their character and their fortitude and their ability. I don't have that. I have that in other ways, but I don't have it in that way. Do you know what I mean? It's not better. It's just different. I joke around all the time. Raja one time said that she's Robertson and I'm strip mall. That's the way it is. I'm fine being strip mall. I'm fine. You know what I mean? I'm 5'6" all the way.
Everything in a strip mall. Like nail place, tie place. Oh, I want pizza too.
That's me. That's me. I'm 5'6" all the way. You know what I mean? I'm Norwalk, California. That's just who I am. I'm not saying it's like more real or more this or more that. It's just who I am. It's how I was. My word means a lot to me. Even if I have to, you know, Mayhem the other day was leaving for a gig that she did last night, one of the Black Girl Magic shows. And she needed a wig. And I was supposed to go, oddly enough, do another photo shoot with Morgan. And the wigs I ordered and I started doing, it just wasn't it. And I thought, she's expecting this from me. I told her I would do it and she leaves on a flight at a certain time. So I called Morgan and I said, baby, I'm not going to be up at 8:00 in the morning to be in Riverside for this shoot. I have to finish something that I gave my word to. And maybe it's not that big of a deal to other people. And maybe once the wig was done, she could have said, well, I could have just bought a wig in Chicago that kind of looked like this. No biggie. But I knew what I said. Yeah. And so those people across the street told me the same thing. You're my family now. We're your family. I'm your mother. Well, if you're my mother, how come I'm not under your wing? Like, how come you're not talking about Alyssa's makeup palette? How come you're not talking about Willam's makeup palette? How come you're not talking about Alaska on iTunes? How come you're not talking about Adore? How come you're not talking about Kasha Davis reading to kids? How come you're not talking about any of these things? It's robotic at this point. I don't want to hear everyone say love. I want you to actually give me love. I don't want to fucking hear that shit because I'm tired of it, because it's being spit out like a fortune cookie, and it's old, and it's not new, and it's not authentic.
Yeah.
I would rather you just say to me, bitch, I don't like you. I don't see you. I don't get you. I'm not into it. Then touch me peripherally.
All those things are 100% fine. She could be a bitch. She could be an asshole.
Absolutely.
She could be a wonderful person too, though, obviously. But what's not fine is what they did, trying to erase another queer artist, queer people over across the street, erasing another queer artist's contribution to the arts.
Well, saying to somebody, your voice, you spoke
It's
loud
stupefying.
enough. Yeah, you spoke loud enough. We don't need you to go anymore, so we're going to cap your voice right here. Your voice has been capped on 1 Emmy. That's it. You're not going to do anything else. I mean, the work we did on this, the fucking Entertainment Weekly, that one cover of the year.
That cover of the year with the presidential, that navy blue dress. Ooh, bitch, I love that navy blue.
Was there a mention? Like, there's that too. I mean,
the most disgusting.
Can I have a drink of this water? Who's ever it is?
It's yours.
Oh,
yeah.
it is. Thank you.
Yeah. The most disgusting thing I've seen this year was I wanted to buy Rue's Guru book because I liked all her other books, and she's got some great ideas. And I saw the cover and I was like, oh, cool. That's a Matthew picture. I knew exactly which dress. I knew exactly what hair. I think it's that Mother of the Bride one, right? That gorgeous tan that you love.
That was the cover of
back here or something.
That was the cover of Life Working At.
Okay, not that one.
But they used the I think the season 5 or the All Stars sort of goddessy All Stars one goddessy look on Guru. Yeah.
So for Guru, the title, the credit says it's a Matthew Anderson hair job, makeup job, photo job, and retouch job.
Mm-hmm.
And the photo credit says photo courtesy of World of Wonder. It's like, you can't even put the dude's name. He did that for you. I mean, he did it for him too. That was his job. He was there to make money and stuff. And I know his tenure was cut off, and it wasn't, from all accounts, me as a friend, I saw him alienate people at the end, and he was going through stuff, and that kind of, you put that aside, like give a fucking queer artist his credit. It's not 92 where all of us are dying of AIDS and everything, and like all the queer arts are just like, being stripped away. That happened.
And
they're trying to do it again.
Yeah, and I feel like it is, with their platform, it is their responsibility. They should be more principled and say, well, we say all this about inclusion and we tell you on episodes of Drag Race, but what about when the credits are done and they're done rolling? Like what else happens? Are you really about that, or are you about that life? Because, people always say like, well, I'm that bitch. I say what I say, and I don't give a fuck. And if you hit me, are you that bitch or are you that girl? Are you that bitch? And you stood up for yourself? And cause see, I'm not going to live on my knees. I'm really not. I'm not.
Same.
I don't care. And if that means that I have to go work, in a little barber shop that is part barbershop, part nail shop, part eye waxing, then that's where I'll fucking work. Because I would rather be honest about it than walk around, oh my God, hi sis. I'm tired of hearing that from people that don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to hear it. And then you're not going to tell me that because I don't believe you. And, I said the other day to somebody, Pearl wasn't lying. Willam's not lying. I'm not lying. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. And, there have been people, well, RuPaul gave you a platform. Yes, she did. She absolutely did. I can remember when I had my own show at a fucking club called Encounters in Pasadena years ago. My very first show was like twice a month. RuPaul came to that show 2 times wearing a cowboy hat, this oversized gross leather jacket. Like, not the style wasn't what it is now because it was a different time. Mm-hmm. But she came there and I remember her saying, and we were like, oh my God, that's RuPaul. I think that's RuPaul. Mm-hmm. And she had a couple of kids with her, younger kids, friends. And she said, how come you guys don't have a spotlight? I said, we just don't have anyone to run it. We never have. She said, everybody on stage deserves a spotlight. Let me run your spotlight. And she ran our spotlight. And I have 5 other people that will attest to this really happening.
Work.
I have a photograph from that time. She came back 2 weeks later to the show again and ran it again. And I remember she drank a beer at the time. I don't know if she was not drinking. I know she's not a person who doesn't drink, but I remember her having something. I don't know if it was a fake beer. What do you call it? Near beer.
O'Doul's, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. That or whatever it was. It was out of a bottle. And I remember her doing that for us. And the spotlight was busted. And at the time, it was like me and Psychedella and Morgan McMichaels. And we all got ready in we would back Psychedella's truck up to the fucking club in the parking lot that shared a wall with houses. It's now like a Metro PCS store or something. But it was right off Sierra Madre foothill area. Uh-huh. And we would do this show there. And I remember Rue saying to me one time, these reality shows are a big thing. There's eventually going to be a show about drag queens. It will happen. And this was the only thing at the time was like The Real World something. Yeah. It was just before 2000.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, I guess I said it earlier, I guess World of Wonder and RuPaul are not, it's not just that they're not who I thought they were. Maybe they just weren't who I needed them to be. And maybe that's not a fair expectation of me, but I think it is a fair expectation when you are a company that has so many people below you that are powerhouses and you are the voice of the queer community. You have to take responsibility and go, God, this is tough. But if we're going to lay claim to it, we're going to have to do the footwork. We're going to have to be responsible. I mean, why not just call and say, listen, Delta, we don't want you to have to talk about this. We would prefer that you didn't, but we fucked up. We fucked up. Somewhere it fell through the cracks. We don't know how to tell you that we're sorry, but we're sorry. We don't know how this happened, but it did happen. Somewhere we trusted someone in the company to do this and they didn't do it. And we just assumed they did, but they didn't. And you're going to have to fucking accept this $30 flower arrangement. Something, what you would do for somebody.
What you would do to any other person if a fuck up like that happened.
When you wake up late for a gig and you call and you're like, girl, I'm so sorry. I overslept. I'm fucking sorry. I'm a human being. I fucked up. Mm-hmm. Where's that? Where is it? Just the ownership? You know what I mean? And this past year, several things have happened that led up to this that Ancient Aliens, something like that. I was supposed to go do a speaking engagement with somebody at World of Wonder who invited me last year to do it. And then, last year I wasn't able to do it. So this year they said, hey, that speaking engagement came up again. It's in Orange County and we know that you're not far from there. And, we really want you to do it because you have a different viewpoint to bring. The class is about, television production, specifically reality show production. Mm-hmm. We always have a few queens. We have PAs. We have directors, makeup artists. We want you to be there because now you can speak from in front of the camera, behind the camera, and with an Emmy. And so will you be there? And I said, I'll absolutely be there. Well, we'll pay for we'll pay for an Uber. I said, you don't have to do any of that. I'm right there. No biggie. I appreciate this opportunity. I can't wait. I talk fucking way too much. I'd love to be there. So I don't hear from them for about a month. And then I said, hey, just looping in about that event. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Oh, my God. The event's been canceled. It's been canceled. We don't know what to tell you. And I said, oh, my God. Well, if anything comes up, again, let me know. I adore you and I'll totally be there. And this is someone we both know quite well. And so I said, we all three of us know quite well. And so then I remember the day of the event rolled around and I didn't know it was the day of the event because I wasn't thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And I was just sitting on my phone looking at Insta stories and a couple of girls from Drag Race Insta stories come up. Hey, everyone. Guess where we are? We're on the 5 freeway on the way to Cal State Fullerton. What's up, bitch? Check us out. And I was like, and the camera moves over and the person that booked me for this and then unbooked me, by the way, it was just a free appearance, looks over and moves the camera out of the way. And I was like, wait a minute. You had them come. You picked them up all the way from West Hollywood in the Valley. I live right here. I was going to drive myself there. Mm-hmm. You offered to take me to lunch and I said, I didn't want you to have to do that. So it's all good. You don't have to pay for anything. I told you that my friends work at Cal State Fullerton and I actually I could go get free parking. And then now this happened. So I immediately screen grabbed that story. And I sent the screen grabs to this person's email. And I said, thanks a lot for fucking nothing. Find your fucking balls. Wow. How dare you? This was not even about World of Wonder. It had nothing to do with World of Wonder. But something tells me, again, that gut feeling, why would you just exclude me from something that you've been trying to get me to do for 2 years? And then I agreed to. And then everything built up around this was the only person that could speak on this, the only person that could have anything to say about this lives adjacent to this place, has been the one reaching out to me about, are we still doing it? Hey, is it still, are we good? Cool. Mm-hmm. On my way. Oh no, it's canceled. Oh.
When you can do better and you don't, I think that's a problem. And, we're going to take a break for a second.
Well, you could wrap up what you were going to say.
I'm just stupefied at this kind of thing because I understand. I'll play Doubting Thomas for 1 second. When I was speaking up about stuff and other people were speaking up about stuff, it's hard because World of Wonder has given most of us the biggest break we will ever have in our life.
Absolutely.
Thank God. Gratitude is not conditional in this case, but it comes from speaking up what's right or keeping a job. Michelle's known Matthew 20 years. Michelle knows you. Like, she knows what's right. She knows. And I tweeted a congratulations to Hector for doing hair with a wig that he did for me and said he makes Michelle Visage look like a glamour assassin every episode.
Absolutely.
And congratulations. And she replied back, I agree and everything. And I wrote, well, I'm sure you'll agree that Delta's did a great job on the wigs too. She was right there. And I know that you have her ear. We are not just people who are ungrateful for the platform, who want to use us and then, put their foot on our necks. I'm at a loss for words, and I'm sorry you're going through this, and I'm glad you got your Emmy. You deserve it. And now you can work for people that will treat you how you should be treated, probably.
I felt like when all this, when I was actually there, I never felt like I was treated bad. You know what I mean? Like, I always thought, I'm part of this. Like, I was never told you weren't or you're not. But when all of this transpires later, it's like, you're putting a cap on something and then acting like nothing happened. Like, don't say anything. Don't say shh. I mean, that's like Stockholm syndrome. Like that's how I feel. Like, I feel like there are people there now. One recently spoke out about, well, the reason that I wasn't nominated is my own fault. I heard that on a microphone. I wasn't nominated because it was my own fault. Now I can say that I haven't been there since the last time we filmed, which was last summer. So summer of 2018. I don't know what this person has heard from summer of 2018 to the time that I heard them speak today. Maybe they were told something differently. Maybe they've been given new information that I've not been given. But based on this past week, that is what this person said to people on a microphone in West Hollywood. And they didn't speak about me, didn't say a word about me. I'm not going to say that they were implicating something, but in their mind, they said they were not nominated because of paperwork they did not take care of.
Wow.
So there's that.
Well, who wants to take a deep dive into the DMs?
Well, it's been really amazing having you here. I'm glad you came in.
Thank you.
And I didn't know like any of the stuff that happened, so it's really good to like hear your perspective and hear,
Do you remember when you performed Rain at Here Lounge years ago and there was like a go-go dancer peeing on you? Do you remember that? What? I swear that happened at Here Lounge.
We did that at Here.
I swear it was Here.
I will always love you.
Echoplex.
At Echoplex.
Peed on at
two guys.
Two guys in pig masks.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that on the way here.
Did I do it at Here?
I thought you did.
It's hard to get someone to pee on you.
Mondays?
It's like challenging.
Boomer Banks was supposed to pee on me once. I got him a leather dog mask. He was my I was doing Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. Vicky was the sun. I was Annie. Hot Goss is a Forever Dog podcast.
Produced by Big Dipper.
Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey.
Mixed and mastered by Alex Sarche.
Our theme music is graciously provided by ATF Enterprises, Incorporated Limited. Hot!
So here's how you can save up to 70% on your favorite brands. FromRebel.com has everything for your home, family, and life. From strollers to skincare at unbeatable prices. Every day, Rebel drops thousands of new products for up to 70% off. It's a constant stream of endless deals from brands like UPPAbaby, Nuna, Baby Bjorn, Nespresso, Breville, Wilson, Dyson, Caraway, and more. Every listing is one of a kind, and the best things go first, so you have to move fast. Save big on your favorite brands. Shop now for up to 70% at FromRebel.com.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.